So, welcome back to my mathematics class, Sam the Math Tutor. In our last class, we treated how to find logarithm of numbers. So we found logarithm of numbers using a logarithm table. Now we're moving ahead to talk about numbers less than 1. So today we're carrying out 4 basic operations for numbers less than 1. We want to do addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of logarithm of numbers less than 1. So if you just got to this video and you still have issues on finding the logarithm of a number, please check out for the previous video on logarithm of numbers so that you understand how you can find logarithm of numbers using your 4-figure table. So today we are moving ahead to how we can add and subtract logarithm of numbers less than 1. The reason we are treating this as a topic is that the addition and subtraction of numbers, logarithm of numbers less than 1, a slight difference from the addition and subtraction we have always been doing. And the slight difference is because of the negative that the characteristics carry. What do I mean? Can I see the first question here? We have 2 bar. The first question here, we have 2 bar 0.705. So the bar which the number got as a result of the number being a number less than 1 makes the addition and subtraction slightly different from what you have always known. So we need to treat it and look at how we can add and subtract these numbers so that we will be able to do our work well when we are finding the logarithm of a particular number, or when we are trying to add and subtract a number using logarithm. So I will take the first example, which is 2 bar 0.705. As we all know in mathematics, the arrangement of decimal figure when we are adding or subtracting them is based on their decimal, that the decimal point must align. They must align. So I'm adding this. So let me repeat this so that I can create space for some things. So we are doing the addition of this figure. Like I said, the points must align. 3 bar 0.2836. So despite the numbers of decimal we have after the decimal points are different. This is a 3 decimal place figure, while this is a 4 decimal place figure. They are different, but the arrangement, we have no issues with the arrangement as far as we make sure the points align. So we are adding this together. We're adding this together. So let's sum this up. There's no digits up here for 6, so it is assumed that it is 0 that is there. So if we add up this 0 plus 6, we have 6. We are not assuming that 0 that is there is actually 0 that is there. 0 plus 6 is 6. 5 plus 3, 8. Then 0 plus 8, 8. 7 plus 2, 9. Now, we need to carry out 2 bar plus 3 bar. How do we do this? So I will use this part to do that. 2 bar plus 3 bar. 2 bar is the same thing as minus 2 plus 3 bar minus 3. So, and we all know that this and this will multiply each other, or I put a bracket here so that we know that they multiply each other. So we have minus 2 plus times minus is minus 3. So minus 2 minus 3 is equal to minus 5. So therefore the answer for this is 5 bar. So that's the first example. The second one, it seems like it, is 2 bar 0.6508. Like I said, the points must align. Then we have 4 bar 0.5837. So we want to sum this up. So if I sum this up, 8 plus 7 is 5, 15 I mean. So there's a remainder 1. So we'll put it up here. 1 plus 0 plus 3, that will give 4. Then 5 plus 8, that is 13. We write 3. Then we keep the remaining one here. 1 plus 6 plus 5, that will give 12. Then we have a remainder 1, which is here. Now do we simplify this? Remainder are usually added to the already existing number. So since our remainder here is 1, 1 will be added to minus 2. Then before we add that to minus 4. So we have 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus minus 2 plus minus 4. So 1 plus minus 2 plus minus 4. So here, this will multiply this. The two signs will multiply each other. Plus times minus, that will be minus. Then the same thing will happen here. Plus times minus, that will be minus. So we have 1 minus 2 minus 3. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. And minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. So our answer here is 5 bar, which is the same thing as minus 5. Shouldn't forget our decimal point. So now, question 3, example 3. We have, this is subtraction, 0.3878. So we are subtracting in this case. Like I said, the points must align. 2 bar 0.5438. 5438. So we are subtracting here. So 8 minus 8, that is 0. 7 minus 3, that is 4. 8 minus 4, that is 4. Then 3 minus 5, we can't take away 5 from 3. So we need to borrow. Now, this is where people get it twisted and confused. We need to borrow in this case. Then how do we borrow? Very simple. Now, let's take a look at these numbers. Let me find a way to put this. Let's take a look at it. If I have 0 here, we have 1, 2, 3. Let me stop there. Then numbers before 0, those are negative numbers. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So, as we know, if we have 3 and we borrow 1 from 3, what will be left is 2. If we have 2, we borrow 1 from 2, what will be left is 1. If we have 1, we borrow 1 from 1, what will be left is 0. If we have 0, we borrow 1 from 0, what will be left is minus 1. So if we have minus 1, we borrow 1 from minus 1, what will be left is minus 2. Then if we have minus 2 and we borrow 1 from minus 2, what will be left is minus 4. So for the case of what we are looking for is between these two figures. We want to borrow from 0, therefore what will be left is negative 1. We borrow from 0, what will be left is negative 1. So if I borrow 1 from this 0, I will have negative 1 left. which is the same thing as 1 bar. 1 bar will be left. So cross this. So 1 bar is left. Therefore, if 1 bar is left, we take the one we borrow and combine it with 3. That becomes 13. Then 13 minus 5 is 8. Then we have our decimal point. Then we have 1 bar minus 2. 1 bar minus 2. Let's write that. 1 bar is minus 1. Then we have minus 2. That will be minus 1. This sign will multiply this sign. Minus times minus is plus 2, which is equal to 1. So the answer here is 1. Not negative 1, but positive 1. So we move to the next example. So the next one, which is 4. So now, example 4. The next question we have here is 3.2174, and we are subtraction. Then we have 7.6436. So we are subtracting this. 4 minus 6. We're subtracting 4 minus 6. That would be impossible. So we need to borrow. So we'll borrow from here. I stroke this out. I have 6 left here. Then put what we borrow, which is 1 here. So 14 minus 6, that is 8. Then 6 minus 3, that is 3. Same thing will happen here. I can't take 4 from 1. I need to borrow. So I cross this out. It will remain 1. Then I bring out the one I borrowed here. 11 minus 4, that is 7. Then the same thing, I can't take 6 from 1. I need to get 1 from 3. Then 2 will be left here. Now, the one I borrowed will be combined with this to make 11. 11 minus 6, 5. Now, on this side, I have 2 minus 7 left, which is minus 5. 2 minus 7, which is minus 5. So the answer there is 5 bar. 5 bar. So we move ahead to do the last 2 questions, which is the 5th one. The last 3. We have 3 to go. So I have 2 bar, 0.1057. Then I have minus 5 bar, 0.7689. 7689. So I subtract this. So my subtraction, I do this. I can't take away 9 from 7. So I need to borrow from 5. 4 will be left here. Then I combine 1 with 7. That makes 17. 17 minus 9 is 8. Then the same thing here. I can't take away 8 from 4. So I need to borrow. Then if I can't borrow from 0, I go to the next digit to borrow. 1 remains 0. Then this one will now be 10 by the time I put 1 here. So I still borrow 1 from it. This will remain 9. Then I have 1 here, which combines with 4 to make 14. So 14 minus 8 is 6. Then 9 minus 6 is 3. Then from here, I have to borrow, because I can't take 7 from 0. I have to borrow from minus 2. And from the digit I wrote the other time, if we look at it again, from what I wrote here, if I borrow from minus 2, minus 3 will be left between these two. So if I borrow from minus 2, minus 3 will be left. So this will remain 3 bar. Then the one I borrowed will combine with this 0 to make 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. So I now have 3 bar minus 5 bar. So if I want to write that, it will be minus 3 minus 5. This in brackets because of the two signs that follow each other. So this will be minus 3. The sign here, multiply the sign here, that is plus 5. So finally, my answer is 2. Minus 3 plus 5, 2. So that's 2.3368. So we move to the second to the last one. The second to the last one, that's 1 bar, 0.4602. Then minus 5 bar, 0.7634. So from here, I subtract this. I can't take 4 from 2. I need to borrow for 2. And the next number to 2 is 0. So I can't take any from there too. So I take from 6. 6 will remain 5. It gets here. The 1 gets here. Then I take 1 from that, which is 10. This will remain 12. So 12 minus 4 is 8. 9 minus 3 is 6. Then I need to borrow from here. This will remain 3. Put the 1 here. 15 minus 6 is 9. I can't take 7 from 3. So I need to borrow again. Borrow from minus 1. Should be used to this now. That if I borrow for minus 1, minus 2 will be left. So 2 bar is left if I borrow from minus 1. So combining that to this turns to 13. So 13 minus 7 is 6. Then I have minus 2 minus 5. So I'll do the calculation here. I have minus 2 minus 5. So which will become minus 2. This will multiply this plus 5, which is equal to 3. So the answer here is 3. So the last one, which is right about the 7th example, maybe. Yes, number 7. We are adding a lot of numbers here. So we have 3 bar, 0.2671. Then we have 0.54 92. We have 4 bar, 0.6342, and we have 2.9322. So we can sum all of these up together and do it one after the other. You can also do everything together. So let's do it together. 3 bar 0.2671, 0.5492, 4 bar 0.6342, and 2.9322. So let's add all of this together. We have 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. That should give 7. 7. Then 7 plus 9, 16. 16 plus 4, 20. 20 plus 2, 22. So we'll write 2. The remaining 2 we'll keep here. We had our remainder. That's the usual rule in mathematics. So we have 2 plus 6, 8. 8 plus 4, 12. 12 plus 3. 12 plus 3 is 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. So we have 8 here. We'll keep the remaining 1. Then 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5, 8. 8 plus 6, 14. 14 plus 9. That should be 23. So we write 3, then we keep 2. 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3. This is 3 bar. 2 minus 3. That should give us 2 minus 3 should give us minus 1. Minus 1 plus 0, that will still be minus 1. Minus 1 minus 4, that's minus 5. And minus 5 plus 2, that is 3 bar, negative 3, which will be written as 3 bar. So those are the examples on addition and subtraction of logarithm of numbers less than 1. Addition and subtraction of logarithm of numbers less than 1. So we go to multiplication and division of logarithm multiplication and division of logarithm of numbers less than 1. So we start with multiplication. The first example, which is 2 bar 0.823. We are multiplying by 3. This is quite straightforward. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 8 is 24. So we write 4. The remaining 2 is kept. Then 3 times minus 2. 2 bar is the same thing as minus 2. 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. The remainder is usually added. Don't forget, in mathematics, we add the remainder if we have any remainder. So 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. So we add 2 to that. So I have minus 6 plus 2, which will give me minus 4. So the answer here is 4 bar. Then the second example, we have 1 bar 0.6042. Then we are multiplying by 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. We write 6, we keep 1. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 1. We have 1. Then 4 times 6 is 24. We write 4. We keep 2. So 4 times 1 bar, which is the same thing as negative 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Then we add the negative 4 plus 2, which will give negative 2. So we have negative 2 is 2 bar, so we write 2 bar. So that is our answer. Put our decimal point, very important. So our answer is 2 bar point 4168. Then the next example is division. You have to be careful. In this division, it's not as straightforward as multiplication, but also simple. You just need to take the instruction. So the first thing we do is to find a number that is equal. Okay, we are dividing by 5 in the first one. Not by 2, we are dividing by 5. Find a number that is equal, a multiple of the dividend, multiple of the divisor. What do I mean? Our divisor is the number divided. So the divisor here is 5. The multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and the rest of them. They are the multiples of 5. So we look for a multiple of the divisor. The divisor is 5. That is greater than the whole number. Multiple of 5 greater than the whole number. 5 is a multiple of 5, and 5 is greater than 2. I'm not talking about minus 2, just 2. So we use 5 because it is a multiple of 5 and it is greater than 2. So I will put a bar on the 2. So what am I trying to do? Let me explain what I'm trying to do. I'm looking for two numbers, one positive, one negative, that can totally replace this number here and will be easy to divide also. I'm looking for two numbers, one positive, one negative, that will replace 2 bar. So I'm using a multiple of 5 that could do that. Any multiple of 5 could do that, but it's easier if you use the least multiple of 5. But any multiple of 5 can do that. So the multiple of 5 that is greater than 2 that we are using to replace this 2 is negative 5. So what number will we add to negative 5 so that we get negative 2? We have negative 2 here. What number will we add to negative 5 so that we get negative 2? That is 3. So if we add 3 to it, we have totally replaced, because the figure here is the same as negative 2. Minus 5 plus 3 is minus 2. So we only replace. We have not done anything special. The figure we still have here is still the same thing as negative 2, or still the same thing as 2 bar when simplified. So 5 bar plus 3 is replacing 2 bar so that we can easily divide. So 0.5738. Then all of this will be divided by 5. Or we can write it like this: 5 bar over 5, then plus 3.5738, all divided by 5. So this is what we are dividing. 5 divided 5 bar, that will be 1 bar, plus 5 divided 3.5738. Let's divide that. 5 divided 3 is 0. The 3 is still left because it's undivided. You put 3 here, combine it with 5. 5 divided 35 is 7. No remainder. 5 divided 7 is 1. Remainder 2. 5 divided 23 is 4. Remainder 3. 5 divided 38 is 7. Remainder 3. So we still have a remainder here, 3. I put 0 at the back of that. 5 divided 30 is 6. So don't forget your decimal point. We have our point here. So if we then add the two whole numbers. We add them. So we have negative 1 plus 0. That will give negative 1. So our answer is 1 bar 0.71476. Now, for figure, our logarithm table is always to 4 decimal place. That is why most of the things we do in logarithm table is in 4 decimal place. So, and this is already in 5 decimal places. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to change it to 4 decimal places. And how would I do that? I will round up 6 to 7. Round up 6 to 7 on one side is 1 bar 0.7148. 1 bar 0.7148. So the next example is on 4 bar 0.3217 divided by 3. So we are dividing by 3 in this case. Divided by 3. So to do this, the same step we took, we look for the multiple of the divisor that is greater than 4. Multiple of the divisor. The divisor here is 3. So 3. The multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. The first one that is greater than our whole number or our characteristics is 6. So I'm using 6. So I will write 6 with a bar. Like I said the other time, what number will be added to 6 bar so that the value will still be, the total value will still be 4 bar. Because we are trying to replace 4 bar. All we are trying to do is just to replace 4 bar. We are doing the replacement with the multiple of 3. So what number will we add to 6 bar so that we can have 4 bar? That is positive 2. Then we write the decimal portion here with the positive 2. That will be 3217. All divided by 3. All divided by 3. So from here, we do the division. We have 6 bar plus 6 bar over 3 plus 2.3217 all over 3. So let's divide this. 6 bar divided by 3 is 2 bar plus 2.3217 divided by 3 is let's try to use calculator for that. Let's lay our hands on calculator. Let's use calculator for that so that I can show us some things about it. So use calculator for the division. So here I want to divide 2.3217. So your calculator can do this. 2.3217. We are dividing by 3 to give us the number to several decimal places. Okay, this gave exactly 4 decimal places, so we just write it like that. 0. 7739. 0.7739. So then we add the whole number part and the decimal part together. That's 2 bar point 7739, and that is the answer to that. So let's go ahead to the last two examples. Let's go ahead to the last two examples. We have 3 bar 0.1285 divided by 2. So the same step, we are looking for the multiple of 2 that is greater than 4. The multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We can use anyone that is greater than 3 here. Anyone. But the first one that is greater than 3, which is always the easier one to use, is 4. So I write 4, I put the bar. Like I've said repeatedly, that we are trying to replace the number here. So we need to find a positive number we add to 4 that will make the result 3. So the only number is 1. If we add 1 to -4, the answer is -3. So if I add 1 to 4 bar, the answer is 3 bar. Then I write the decimal point, 1285. So I'm dividing all of this by 2. So I separate them, 4 bar over 2 plus 1.1285 over 2. So 2 divide 4 bar, that's 2 bar, plus we want to use 2 to divide 1.1285. 1.1285 divided by 2. 1.1285 divided by 2. So we have 0.56425. Now if we look at this figure very well, we have 5 numbers after the decimal point. We need to approximate it to 4 numbers after the decimal point. So we'll be rounding off 5 to 2. So I have 0.56425. 0.56425. Now we round off 5 to 2. So that will be 2 bar plus 0.5643. If we add the two odd number part, our answer is 2 bar 0.5643. The last example, we have 5 bar that's example 6. We have 5 bar 0.806 divided by 4. So we want to divide here quickly. So we're dividing this by 4. So we look for the multiple of 4 that is greater than the whole number. The multiple of 4, multiple of the divisor that is greater than the whole number. So our divisor is 4. Multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, and the rest of them. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and the rest of them. Any of those can be used as far as it is greater than the number here. But the easiest to use is 8, because 8 is the first number greater than 5. So we write 8, then we put a bar on it. Like I said, we are trying to replace this 5. So we look for a number that we add to 8 bar that will give us 5 bar. That is 3. So 8 bar plus 3 is equal to 5 bar. So we have replaced. So we write the decimal part 806, all divided by 4. So we are dividing 8 bar by 4 plus, and we are dividing 3.806, also dividing it by 4. So 8 bar divided by 4 is 2 bar plus 4 divided by 3.806. Let's use our calculator for that. 3.806 divided by 4 is equal to 0.9515. This is exactly in 4 decimal place, so we write it directly. Write it as 0.9515. Then we add the two whole numbers together. One side is 2 bar 0.9515. So that is how we divide and multiply logarithm of numbers less than 1. So this is our work on logarithm and multiplication and division of logarithm of numbers less than 1. So from this point now, in our next classes when we're still looking at common logarithm, we will be taking questions on logarithm. So thanks for staying tuned. If you have any question, you can put it down in the comments. I will attend to them. Have a blessed day. Thank you.